Welcome to Get Beyond the Buzz with your host, Susan Cromer. Join Susan and her guests as they explore the subject of medical marijuana and CBD, separating the myth from reality in the journey toward a better quality of life. It's about getting healthy, not getting high. Now, here's your host, Susan Cromer.
It's a pleasure today to welcome Vicki Conley to Get Beyond the Buzz. In 2014, Vicki lost her husband Mike to glioblastoma brain cancer. Although she was already a medical marijuana patient in the state of Colorado and Mike supported the medical marijuana movement, he held a factory job all his life and would never partake due to his chosen profession. However, at the young age of 55, once he knew he would never go back to work due to his illness, he tried medical marijuana in the form of Rick Simpson oil, and even did so with his mother's blessing. Thanks to a friend, Vicki learned a tremendous amount about the healing properties of the plant. Unfortunately, Mike's cancer was too advanced when he began the Rick Simpson oil, but Vicki continues to advocate for the end of prohibition of marijuana as part of her own healing process. Vicki is a entrepreneur and has many joint ventures taking place. The big one right now is her involvement on the crew of the Marijuana Show. This show has been likened as a Shark Tank for entrepreneurs by CNBC. It's currently starting its third season. We'll have the information of how to watch season 1 and 2 in our show notes, as well as how to get in touch with Vicki.
Well, welcome, Vicki. It is a pleasure to have you on Get Beyond the Buzz. To get started, can you tell us all how you got started in the medical marijuana field or using medical marijuana?
All right. Well, thanks, Susan. I'm honored to be a guest on your show, and I know we've done a little bit of talking before this, but I've written some notes down so I make sure that I get out what I want to say. My start was actually, it was a pretty big start. I connected with an old friend from Facebook who was producing a show in Denver, and I had no idea what the name of the show was, but I wanted to meet her in person. Her name was Wendy Robbins, and she's the inventor of the Tingler head massage.
Love that thing, yeah.
Yep. And anyway, I had met her because she had written a book, and I'd connected with her in the early days on Facebook, and heard they were coming up for this project, and I wanted to be a part of it. Well, the project turned out to be the Marijuana Show, which you can go to themarijuanashow.com and watch season 1. Season 1 was put together in like 3 weeks from the time that Wendy and her partner, wife, co-producer Karen came up with the idea. They had auditions in Denver with over 200 people that showed up.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's interesting. One of the first people that I met is a gal, Elizabeth Crowley, I believe is her name. I became Facebook friends with her, and I follow her on Facebook. Did you hear about the 7 people that were arrested in D.C. For smoking pot or for handing out free joints to congressional staff?
Oh no, I didn't hear that. Oh, that's great.
One of them. She is awesome, and so anyway, she was one that came and tried out. I don't think she got a spot on Bud Camp, which I should explain what the show is. The show, the Marijuana Show, is like a Shark Tank for entrepreneurs. It's been referred to as that by CNBC. We've been interviewed by the Huffington Press, Rolling Stone magazine, several news channels, CNBC like 4 or 5 times. They love us. And so it's a Shark Tank for entrepreneurs to come and pitch their business ideas. So we had 200 people from all around the country flying in, and you can watch season 1. There's about 13 or 14 different episodes. And then season 2, we had a much larger production crew, production staff, And I've been on the crew of the show since it started season 1. I reached out to Wendy and said, hey, I'll help you, whatever I can do. So I'm kind of like a gopher on the show, and I've gotten to meet all the contestants, and anytime they film in Denver, I've been able to go down. It's about an hour away. And I just helped out a big 420 rally in Denver last week. I just helped out and helped with their booth. The girls were sick and weren't able to come up. So anyway, I got off track there again.
Because it's fascinating about the show. People tend to, I think a lot of people that are unfamiliar with the business tend to think that when you're talking about it, you mean everybody in the business is growers. And that is so far from the truth. And that's what people need to understand, that there's so much more out there. Yes, we need the plant, but we're making all kinds of things, or people are making all kinds of things from it, from body oil or lotions and soaps and edibles and all kinds of things.
Yeah, we had all sorts of those products that tried out for the show, and we had a couple different winners that were able to make deals from season 1, and I think one of our first ones was Jeff Peterson. He's a comic. He's the 420 comic.
Yeah.
And I hold a meetup group called the Marijuana Show Fan Club up here in Loveland, Colorado, and we had him up here as a guest one night, and he is so funny. He now lives in Vegas, and I know he does shows out in Vegas, so I'll give a shout out for Jeff. Search for the 420 comic and find out if he's playing. We had the second season, we had a 10-year-old CEO. His parents own a cafe called or a cafe grow operation called, I think it's a grow operation anyway, I don't want to misspeak, called Hempful Farms Cafe in Arizona. And their son, Christopher, his business is called Paw Putties, and he makes dog biscuits out of hemp.
Wow.
Yeah, and he was on, I think he was on season 1 or season 2, episode 1 of the show, which you can watch on Amazon Prime, by the way. We did get picked up by Prime this year, so I encourage everyone to watch it and leave a review. He sold like 600 dozen biscuits to a couple of investors that he made his pitch to. So if a 10-year-old boy can do it, you can
awesome.
do it. Anyone can do it if you have, turn your pipe dreams into reality. Just make
literal
it happen.
Pipe dreams.
Yeah.
Okay, so then again, to clarify with people, so hemp doesn't get you high. It doesn't have enough THC in to get you high, and it does have some medicinal qualities. So that's what he's doing and helping dogs feel better with his treats.
Yes, CBD.
There you go.
CBD, which is, that's a whole another topic.
Legal in all 50 states. So everybody that's in a state that's not legal, there's some hope for you.
Yes.
Okay, so you got involved with the show.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever use it medicinally? Did you have a reason to, or a family member, or?
Yes. Well, myself, I probably started smoking at the age of 15 or so. It was an Elton John concert in 1973 at the Iowa State Fair, and it just always felt right. So I went through a time there, raising my daughter, that I didn't smoke. And it's kind of ironic that when I did take up smoking again was when my daughter was 18. She came to me, and we had a bonding moment, and she asked me if I wanted to smoke a joint with her, and I'm just like, you got one? And we did, and I the next day I watched a television commercial, that says, parents, talk to your kids about drugs, and oh my God, the guilt feelings came out. I felt so guilty. But it's like the next time we were together, I was talking to her about it, and she was she's like, Mom, she goes, I just want to tell you how cool I thought that was, that we could smoke together like that. She said, it just felt so good. And now she's 34 years old now, and she helps me on the marijuana show now, and we get along great. It's something we can do together. My husband, her father, was diagnosed about 4 years ago with a glioblastoma brain tumor. And, you know, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer about this or anything, but it's important to get the word out on this, on how cannabis with THC, I mean, people need to know that they need to be educated, and they need to know the differences out there. And I'm not making any health claims whatsoever, but there's research going on out there that's showing that if anything, it can help with pain with chemotherapy. And, you know, and
nausea.
Nausea. I don't think I'm misspeaking on any of this, because the government owns a patent for THC curing cancer. So they know it. It's out there. There's just, you know, there's
lots of anecdotal evidence. Yeah. People can look around that is on the internet. They're going to find it.
Exactly. So I won't go into detail on any of that, because
make their own decision.
I can't. Yeah. But people need to research it. They need to educate themselves on a product that's out there called Rick Simpson oil, that it's very high in THC. My husband chose Western medicine when he was diagnosed, and he went on a trial drug, so he was not allowed to do anything other than protocol, and he had never smoked marijuana or anything himself. He was a blue-collar worker with a factory job. He couldn't be impaired at all on his job.
Drug testing? Did they do drug testing?
Random? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he was, you know, he had hopes. He was doing pretty good for a while, and he had hopes that he was going to be able to get back to work, and he would have lost his medical benefits if he would have lost his job over that. So when it got to the point where they told him that there was nothing more that they could do, we did try Rick Simpson oil. And we only had about a month or so at that point, so it was too late for him. But I learned so much during that time frame. And so it's been 3 years now, and, you know, I've become active with the show, and it's just like blowing up now. And I'm, you know, I'm trying to get out there that what's your hashtag?
Get beyond the buzz is about the health, not the high. Yeah, it's about health, not the high.
Yeah, and people need to know that. And the marijuana show hashtag is share the buzz.
Yeah.
You know, so we just
it's not just people getting high, you know, passed out on the couch, or not being able to function. That's not what it's about. Yes, some people use it recreationally and they have a good time, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But there are ways to use it that are not that can help alleviate problems that you're having, medical problems, emotional problems.
And once people learn about the different kinds and the different strains out there, you can find one that works for you, whether you like the high, whether you don't like the high. You know, I know so many people that function better with it, I myself included. So, you know, I might forget a few things from time to time, and I just tell people.
I think everybody does at a certain age. Sorry.
I know. What do I blame? You know. So I just let people know. Just make sure. I like to put things in writing. I'm better at email and text than with phone, because I tend to forget things that I say sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Well, also then, you know, I always want to leave the knowledge to everyone that if you're in a state that is not legal, there is CBD oil, which comes from hemp and does not get you high, doesn't have THC in it or minimal THC. It is legal, and that gives you an opportunity to try something if you are either against, for whatever reason, morally or whatever, the high, or you don't want to break the law. That is available.
One tip I'll mention about that, if someone does go to a legal state and they do try, you know, especially edibles can creep up on you. And I've been learning how to make edibles, and my Chex Mix. Oh my God, Chex Mix is addicting anyway.
Ooh.
And you make it use butter, it can kick your butt. and if somebody isn't used to that, you know, I had a friend over the other day, and I gave her a piece of cake, and I told her approximately how many milligrams was in there. She's like, okay. She took it. She was asleep on my couch for 3 hours. So, but with CBD oil, if you get too much THC in an edible, a shot of CBD oil, whatever dosage you're taking, can help calm that high down.
Yeah.
And take a nap.
Yes,
you know,
that's a good thing to know. Yeah, CBD.
Don't panic.
Yeah, CBD will bring it down. Yeah, that counteracts it. So that can be very helpful if somebody's having a little too high a time.
And put the Chex Mix away. Don't try it anymore.
That's hilarious. I had not heard about that. So Chex Mix.
It takes about a half an hour to start. Sometimes less. If it's in a fat soluble product such as butter, it can sometimes kick in a little bit faster.
Not the thing you want around when you have the munchies.
No.
Okay, so when you decided you were going to do the Rick Simpson oil and or work with the marijuana show, what was the feedback from your family, friends, colleagues, anything like that? How'd they take it?
Yeah, well, the Rick Simpson oil, we learned about that through, and my husband's mother, she was staying with us at the time. She was able to stay here the last 6 months and help out. And she was educated at the same time. She didn't watch all the videos I watched, but she watched a few of them. She listened to me. She told Mike, you know, that she felt that it was a good decision for him to try this. So he tried it with her blessing. My parents were pretty much the same way, you know, hey, whatever it takes. And one thing that has come out of this, last year, my dad is the pastor of a church in Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri, and he invited me to come do a Cannabis 101 class for his Sunday school class. And so I put a little presentation together. It was the highlight of my year last year.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, and there was a gal in the audience. Probably the youngest person in the audience, other than my daughter, was this gal. She was about mid 40s or so, early 40s, and she was like, you know, every point that I was making, she was like advocating everything I was saying, like yes, and at the end of the session, at the beginning of the sermon, one of the elders of the church that was doing the greeting thanked me from the front and said, he goes, I don't know if you changed anyone's opinion, but you changed mine. So it's like,
oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah,
one person at a time. And
I know it was, you know, from the questions that came up and the response that I was giving, I know that I probably changed 20 people's mind that day. And so next time that there's a vote in the state of Missouri, there's going to be 20 more yes votes, and maybe they'll tell a friend or two.
Yep.
My mom is sharing my Facebook posts now, you know, when I share posts about, especially the CBD, because that is legal in the state of Missouri.
Yeah.
And her 80th birthday is next month, and I'm going to be bringing her a bottle to try. So she's been having some health issues lately, and you know, it's not going to hurt.
That's right. No, we've had, you know, a lot of people with success with it. You know, it all depends. But so listeners, please do share any knowledge that you can, get the word out. That's what it takes. It's a grassroots effort, and it's going to take all of us to get the laws changed so that everybody can take advantage of this wonderful plant that has been around for centuries, helping people medically, and you know, we need it. So How has this impacted your life?
Well, I think it's kind of cool how it's kind of become my career, sort of, you know. I never would have thought at 58 years old that I would have a career in the marijuana industry. You know, I don't deal with the leaf myself other than cooking with it. And, you know, I do live in a legal state, and I am in the process of opening my home up as an air bud and breakfast, I call it.
I love that.
Yep. And people that are traveling, like, it's an issue because it's legal to buy in the state of Colorado, but if you don't know where to go, it's really hard to find a place where it's legal to consume. And so I'll be opening my house up. If people want to come, they'll, you know, I'll allow them to smoke marijuana in my house. Cigarettes can be smoked outside. And I'm going to be providing some get baked experiences. So I'll be making coconut oils and butters. You know, I can add some little extra services, like I can take on a dispensary run where they can buy their own product legally, bring it back to my house, and then we'll just have a little cooking session. And
that's a great idea. Yeah. So,
and then while we're cooking, I'll educate them on these things we talked about, on, you know, don't overdo it, you know, don't use too much.
So inexperienced people can come or experience. So we will have that information at the, you know, at the, on the page for the podcast. Yeah. For those of you interested in going to visiting Vicki, it sounds like a great time. I think I'll come out.
Yeah. I'm in northern Colorado. I've been selling items on Amazon and eBay for 15 years, Amazon for about 4 years. And so I have my own private label brand called Hippie Do that I have leaf themed hats, and I do some print on demand t-shirts and things. This is one of my t-shirts that I made.
Cannabis is safer
than most of your
groceries. Isn't that so true?
You can find that on Amazon.com. I joined my Denver Normal chapter this past year, and then about a month ago, I attended my first lobby day, and I got to meet I didn't get to meet my senator, but I did get to meet my congressperson, who happened to be a friend of mine, a Facebook friend of mine, and a mutual acquaintance, networking friend of mine. So she is not currently a pro-cannabis supporter, but now she knows that I'm a patient. I told her a little bit about my story, and she's interested in learning more. So you just through my involvement with the show and in the industry, I've been putting myself out there, getting down to networking events in Denver, and I've come in contact with some amazing people like you and Tina. Just, you know, there's so many people that are stepping up this year and making a difference and just trying to educate people.
Yeah. So again, if you're in a state that it's not legal, either medically or recreationally, there is the Normal chapters, maybe.
Yes, Normal is it's the National Organization for the Reforming of Marijuana Laws. It was started in the early 70s. I remember hearing about it in 8th grade, and I had a little button. If I ever find that button, I'm gonna have to write a blog post about that one. Might have to auction that one off. But anyway, it's an awesome group. They're very, at least in Denver, they're very active on the political scene. They've been very instrumental in educating the lawmakers and encouraging the public to become involved. I have this little card here. I'm going to hold it up for just a second, and then I'll read what it says. This is a text message that you can text the word resist, RESIST, to the number 50409, so 50409, And then there's a robot that will answer you, and you'll go through a little question and answer process to find out who your senators and representatives are. And it'll set you up so that if you have a smartphone, you can fax them. You can send an introduction letter at first. I just sent a letter introducing myself, and I'm 58 years old. I'm passionate about the plant. This is why, blah, blah, blah. And then now, anytime that there's a matter that I want to message my congressman about, it's going to be, I can do a screen print on my phone and then just write a little short message, hey, Cory Gardner, which he is a supporter of. He's in the process of forming a Cannabis Coalition committee in Washington. So
that's great.
I would definitely, be in contact with him and thank him for his time and let him know my stand on the issues. And hopefully, fingers crossed, a trip to Washington, D.C. is in the works next month with the Marijuana Show to do some filming for season 3 there.
Oh, I'm pretty close. Let me know. Maybe I can head up there.
Awesome. I will, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
So people need to think about that, I know that when Tina and I got involved, when we first made our first post on Facebook, we were both like, I just did it. What do you think? What's going to happen? And we were terrified that we were going to, that people were going to say, what are you doing? Or unfriend us. And I mean, we did not get that. We did not. It has always been supportive, and it's surprising the people that really do want this to be legal. And we just need to get more vocal and let the, Congress people know that, that I really believe it's the majority. In Florida, they vote, it was 75 or 77% said yes. That's huge. That is huge in a referendum.
Overwhelming percent.
Yeah.
And over 50% of the country now has at least medical marijuana available to them. So.
Yeah. And people need to understand that just because it's legal doesn't mean that makes it all easy. And that's why I think you still are involved in Colorado, because they changed the laws. They don't make it easy. Right. Florida's legal, but you can't get the medicine for 90 days. No, that's ridiculous. Who can you imagine going to your doctor and they say, well, yeah, you have an infection, but we're not going to give you your antibiotic for 90 days.
Yeah. People they're having to buy it on the black market where they don't know about pesticides. They don't know how it was grown. They're buying it from the drug dealer down the street.
Right.
Buying it at a legal, clean, organically grown product, at a legal dispensary.
Yeah. There's a lot that,
yes,
a lot that people don't think of that I know I wasn't aware of. I just didn't. I just thought, oh, it's legal, wonderful. DC, you were talking earlier, DC, about the girl in it's recreational in DC, but I don't believe you can get anything in DC. So, I mean, it's like, it doesn't matter, And
I know, I read the newspaper article. They did make sure that they were set up where it was legal for them to be, and they were still arrested. So, yeah, we've got a lot of work ahead of us, but yeah, and I mentioned about how my family, has accepted it, but you're right about people accepting it. Last summer I attended a networking event. It was called Women in Weed, I believe, in Fort Collins, and it's a group that was normally called Women in Wine, and so they had this special Women in Weed, and I think they had double the attendance than
that is so cool. Wow.
And 50% of the people that were there, it was a networking event, and 50% of the people that were there were not even involved in the cannabis industry. They were curious, and they came to find out. And
women are a powerful bunch, because we are the nurturers usually, and we're the caretakers a lot of times, and we're the ones that are, really women that gotta really get vocal here, and it may be a loved one that's going to help save their life if you it's going to be a lot better if you don't have to do it the underground way or
and if you're listening to this and you've gotten this far and you're someone that is against marijuana smokers, listen to your nephew, listen to your kids that, that are telling you, like, hey mom, give it a try. Maybe this will work over Xanax, know?
Yeah. What are the side effects? Well, and there's lots of seniors starting to use it and realize that it's a heck of a lot better than the pharmaceuticals they've been on. And
sleeping. Oh my gosh. And even if you don't want to smoke it, if you cook with it and you make like a nice sativa brownie or something, and you can have like a little tiny piece of brownie and a cup of tea before you go to bed at night, you'll sleep like a baby. You don't need it, you don't need anything else. It helps with that.
I have a friend that I just
I might have said sativa. I meant indica.
Indica. Okay.
A nice indica for sleeping.
Okay.
Get it right.
Yeah. I have a friend that knew nothing about it, didn't know I was involved, and she mentioned that she was diagnosed with celiac disease. And so I said, hey, I'm going to bring you this, try it. I gave her some send her some emails. I wasn't even sure if she would try it, but she did. 2 weeks later, she came and she said, I can't believe it. It has helped me sleep. First thing I noticed, it helped me sleep. My anxiety's gone, and my I don't ache anymore. I'm not aching anymore. And she said, I don't know about the celiacs yet, but she said, I'm sold. And that was CBD, which is legal in all states. So I was thrilled. I just figured it would help, and it did. I was very glad.
I've heard that it works really good with Crohn's disease.
Yes.
And I have a cousin, a young cousin who does not smoke, and he has Crohn's disease, and I keep trying to tell him, like he posted something the other day on Facebook it was on 420. He posted something about not getting baked, or something like that. I'm like, I'm so sorry, dude. You really should be.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, tell him the CBD. Tell him the CBD, you can get it with no THC in it, absolutely none.
Does that help with Crohn's too? Because I heard that.
No, it does help with Crohn's, but I didn't know about the celiac. I honestly didn't know. I have not seen that it does help with that. But I just know that, from what I know about the endocannabinoid system, that people don't really, we don't know that they have. We all mammals do, that most of us are deficient. So it's going to help. It's going to help in some way if you can start getting those CBD receptors filled up and kicking on their own. Yeah. So, that was that I was really, really happy about that, because I really thought, well, she may never talk to me again. she may think, okay, you're crazy. But,
I do find as I reach out to people, and I have people reaching out to me because they'll see my posts on Facebook, and I've been known as the pot lady now at a couple of different networking groups, and people that I never ever would have thought, would have a question about it are coming to me and asking questions. So, there are a lot of people out there that are still in the cannabis closet, and that's okay. But they just need to know, it's okay to reach out. There are, I know I was in the cannabis closet for a while myself too, until it was legal. So now.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah.
And with CBD being legal in all 50 states, they need to know that, and they can come out of the cannabis closet with CBD.
Exactly. And start, and, and just start getting healthy.
Yes.
Start helping people. So, sorry, I had to put my dog down.
Oh, that's okay.
Well, Vicki, we're getting close to the end here. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us? Because you're doing so many cool things.
Oh yeah, thanks. Sure. I've got a new project that I've embarked on just in the last couple of weeks, working with a nonprofit Native American tribe on growing hemp on native land in the U.S. And we're putting a pitch together. I'm involved in a team of people to put a pitch together, and we're driving down to Taos to pitch to the marijuana show.
Oh, wow.
And, this could turn into a super huge project. They have land in Hawaii where they can grow hemp to make biofuel. And this nonprofit is to help fund reservations to bring education, medicine, healing, doctors, clinics to the reservations. And they want to grow hemp on native lands to help heal Mother Earth.
Oh, yes, because hemp is a wonderful, wonderful plant that does heal the earth. It puts back instead of takes it. It's a wonderful thing, and it can be used for so much besides, in addition to CBD.
It's such an amazing team of heartfelt people. So, and then the marijuana show is also, they've partnered up with an affiliate marketing type company, with a CBD oil, and I'm going to be able to meet the co-founder of the company. They're having a big meeting down in Taos that night, Wednesday night, and so I'll be able to meet with that, and that's another way, that people can get involved with sharing the buzz. So
there you go. Great. That's great. So we're going to end. So what's the buzz you want everyone to know about medical marijuana?
I think my number one point that I want to get across is that we all have a story, and some of us may not be able to come out of the cannabis closet yet and share that story in public, but at least share it in private. If your mom or your grandma or chances are your mom or grandma probably smoked pot when they were kids and they just haven't even told you yet. Let them know how it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Just tell your story, make a difference. It's a grassroots movement. It's up to all of us to spread the word and make a difference out there, and get involved with your normal chapters. Write your congressmen, senators. Do whatever you can. You don't have to hop on a plane and fly to Washington, but if you can, it's cool. But at least it's really easy to text resist to 50409 and get something going there, or pick up a pen and write a letter if you want to do it the old-fashioned way, or a phone. There's all sorts of phone numbers out there to call. Just do something. If you're passionate about the industry and passionate about the plant, as a lot of us that love the plant are, just find what makes you feel good that you can do to make a difference.
Thank you. So well said. And again, last thing for your for where people can find you or find what your Airbnb, all that we'll put everything so nobody misses out on anything, and we'll put the resist movement thing also.
Yeah, people can connect with me on Facebook. I have at my Hippie Do page. It's HIPPIEDEW, and actually I think I had to do Hippie Do Day. So, and I think I sent that information to you, so we can link to that. Hippie Do Day on Facebook. My daughter and I, we're going to be soon promoting over there. We're going to be putting a team together to walk in the Brain Tumor Walk at Sloan's Lake down in Denver the first weekend in June, first Saturday in June. If anybody would like to join our team or donate our team, we'd love to have any support.
And that will be in memory of your husband.
That'll be in memory of my husband, Christy's dad. Yep, Mike.
Great.
Oh, and we have a hashtag, hashtag Be Like Mike. So every year I try to outdo Michael Jordan, because that's actually his official hashtag, I think. But every year we try to outdo him. So hashtag Be Like Mike. Watch for that to come, and we'll have a link out there soon once we get our team set up.
Great. That's a good cause.
It is.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. I wish you all the luck in the world, and I know we'll be talking. We got a lot to work together.
I'm so glad we finally officially got
Yes.
I've heard so much about you from Tina.
Great. Thanks.
Thank you.
Please go to www.getbeyondthebuzz.com. We have lots of information there to help you gain the knowledge you need to safely and effectively use medical marijuana and CBD. Listen, learn, share what you hear so people don't suffer needlessly. That's it for now. Until next time, this is Susan Cromer. May you be healthy and prosper.